What's going on, guys? Austin Zaback here with another video, and in today's video, you saw the title, you saw the thumbnail. I'm going to be walking you through flipping a house step by step. So if you're a beginner, if you're watching the video and you really like watching HGTV, you like watching Tariq El Moussa, you like watching Flip or Flop, whatever the case is, then this video is going to be for you. So we're actually standing in front of a house right now that I'm currently flipping, and we're about 45 or 60 days into the project. It is a little bit bigger of a project, and I'm going to walk you through kind of step by step what we've done so far, how we got the deal, how we actually acquired the deal, how you can obviously do the exact same thing, and then how much we budgeted for the particular deal that we're going to be looking at, what we're doing to the house, and then what we plan on selling it for. So let's just go ahead and dive right into the video. If you're new to my channel, I'm typically talking about real estate, the stock market, how to make money, save money, and invest your money. The sun is super bright, so we're going to go ahead and we're just going to spend a limited amount of time in the front yard, but I'm going to kind of break everything down for you, and then we'll jump inside. I would really appreciate it if you would take just a quick minute and just smash the like button for the YouTube algorithm. So we're obviously standing in the front yard right now, and we're actually going ahead and we're demoing the entire landscape of the front yard and the backyard. Now, we typically don't start with the landscaping. This is typically something we do towards the very end of a project, so definitely something to keep in mind. If you're flipping a property, you'll probably want to go ahead and do the inside of the property first, assuming you're just doing like a cosmetic remodel, and then do the landscaping at the very end. So you can see that's what we're doing here, and I'll show you what this looked like before, and I'll show you what it kind of looks like right now. But we had to demo a bunch of like big like wooden railroad things in the front yard. I don't know what the seller of the property was thinking before, okay? He definitely was not thinking. So it looked just absolutely horrible, and I'm considering actually knocking out this tree right here. Let me know what you guys think. We already trimmed it back a bunch, but I kind of want to get rid of the tree. It is a pretty big expense to get rid of the tree just due to the fact that the tree is so big, but I really think it'll help with the overall curb appeal and being able to see the actual front of the property. So definitely drop in the comments section below what you think, and just to kind of put it in perspective, and it'll all make sense when you kind of see the backyard, but total all in on landscape costs, so we'll probably spend about $7,500, maybe 10 grand on landscaping, which is a lot of money, okay? So the landscaping here before looked just horrible, okay? So you're probably not gonna spend that much money on landscaping. So if you're watching the video, you're like, Austin, that's a lot of freaking money. I know, okay? And we factored that in when we purchased the house. So now we're standing in the very front of the property, and as you can see, it's all nice and stuccoed. Now, when we bought the property, it did not look like this, okay? I'll show you a bunch of pictures and footage of what it looked like, but there was a bunch of like big metal things on the windows. The windows were super old. It was not stuccoed. It just looked horrendous, okay? So we did all new windows. We ripped off the metal things off the front of the property, and then we did all new stucco. So I think it looks incredible. Again, we still have to obviously finish it up and make it complete. We're probably about maybe 3 weeks from completion. So let's just go ahead and jump into the inside of the property. So welcome to the inside of the property. Come on, come with me and take a look, okay? I apologize, there's gonna be just a little bit of an echo, but I promise you can solve the problem by just smashing the like button. It'll sound a lot better after you do that. So now that we're inside of the property, what you're gonna notice, and I'm gonna show you what it looked like before, but it did not look like this before. So here's what we ended up doing. So we went ahead and we actually had to raise the ceilings up a little bit, and also this was totally separate, okay? So there was a wall right here when you walked in, and then there was another wall over there, and there was a little entryway. So we opened this all up, and we actually installed a big beam in the center of the property so that we could go ahead and open everything up, because that wall that used to be right there was a load-bearing wall. So now here we are in the kitchen, and before, the kitchen just looked absolutely horrible. There was like a piano over there. This was like, it was just, I promise you're gonna be looking at the pictures, you're like, wow, Austin, pretty crazy transformation so far. So we knocked everything out. We left the skylight up there. I think it gives it a little bit of like a unique characteristic. And basically what the goal is now is just to have an open concept. We actually went ahead and we ran electrical out to the center so that we can go ahead and put a bar or an island out in the center of the kitchen. So I think it's gonna look incredible. And again, you know, people are looking for that open concept, right? It's 2021, and if you're looking into getting into real estate, people want the open concept. So even if you buy a property that you don't have to knock down any walls or anything like that, you typically wanna give them, you know, an open concept. concept. You wanna make it bright. You wanna do a white or a gray, like a light gray or a white. So we got all white shaker cabinets that are gonna be coming in here, and it's just gonna look amazing. So here we are in the hallway, okay? There's a couple of bedrooms behind me. This is a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom home. It's about 1,700 square feet. And what we actually had to do was we had to move this wall over to allow us to make the master bathroom bigger and allow this bathroom to be bigger as well. The lighting isn't that good over there, but I'm gonna show you exactly what it looks like, okay? So the bathrooms were not that big before. They look incredible now. The bedrooms look amazing, but let's just go ahead, let's check out the backyard, and then we're gonna go ahead and break down all the numbers, and I'm gonna tell you exactly how we found the property, what we're gonna be doing with the property, what our plan is, otherwise known as our exit strategy, and then also break down all the numbers just so you fully understand what flipping a property actually looks and feels like. So we're standing in the backyard now, and the backyard still looks like a little bit of a mess, okay? And we're gonna be ripping everything out, and we're gonna be just doing some nice, easy landscaping with some nice rock, and it'll be real simple back here. So again, just kind of demoing everything out, and now you can kind of see exactly why our landscape costs were what they were, okay? So look, to keep it really simple, if you're looking into getting into flipping real estate, it does not have to be complicated, okay? You don't need really a ton of money. You just need to know somebody that has money, okay? Now you can either use like a hard money lender or a private money lender to actually buy real estate. And typically, if you're using harder private money, you just pay a higher interest rate. But again, if you're flipping the real estate, then you're not planning on owning the real estate for a really long time. So it isn't that big of a deal, right? So harder private money, we actually found this by marketing to sellers, okay, distressed sellers. And I'm gonna link a couple of links in the description below of some of the different websites that we use to market to distressed sellers. And basically we reached out to them and we said, hey, we're looking at buying a property in the neighborhood, right? And we were curious if you'd ever thought about selling for cash. And we offered them $250,000 and they took it. And the property's probably worth anywhere from $450 to $500, just depending on where the market is at when we go to list the property. Now we're putting about 80 to 100 grand worth of work into this particular property. Obviously we're redoing the kitchen, as I showed you. We're redoing the bathrooms. We had to open everything up. All new landscaping, new paint, new flooring, all new fixtures like ceiling fans, all new light fixtures, everything like that, right? All your little switches and your power outlets, all of that is gonna pretty much be all brand new, okay? So guys, it can be very simple, right? The key that you want to understand when you're going to buy a property is that you make your money in the buy, right? So if you're looking at a property, you have to analyze all the numbers and you have to figure out what will the property be worth once you fix it up and put it back on the market. And once you determine that, you essentially just work backwards. You figure out, well, how much money is it gonna cost me to get the property there? And you can go and you can get bids from contractors and stuff like that, right? And they'll tell you, how much it's gonna cost to replace the kitchen cabinets, right? To open walls up, if you have to open walls up, to do new carpet, to do laminate flooring, or whatever the case is. And then once you figure that out, you have to figure out how much is it gonna cost you to hold the property, right? If it's a 90-day remodel, what is that gonna cost you? If you're paying a high interest loan on a harder private money loan for 90 days, then what is that gonna cost you? And then you have to figure out, what are my realtor costs and stuff gonna be on the back end to sell the property? Once you have all that figured out, then all you gotta really do is determine how much profit you wanna make. And then that should give you, theoretically, there's probably a couple of other like random numbers that you want to study a little bit, but theoretically, that'll give you the number in which you have to purchase the property at. Now, you always want to be realistic and reasonable when doing that, and typically what I like to do is be conservative. I like to offer, depending on where you live, obviously, like 50 grand below the number that I need to be at. So I build in some wiggle room. You've probably heard, if you've watched any shows, you've watched house flippers before, it never goes as planned. There'll always be problems, okay? And we've definitely had our fair share of problems at this particular property. So again, keep it simple, okay? If you're looking into getting into flipping real estate, watch more videos like this. Subscribe to my channel. Let me know down below what it is that you like to see. What can I break down for you? What numbers can I talk about? There's got to be, enough information out there for you to make educated decisions on getting into the business, okay? It's a phenomenal business, especially going into 2021. You can even refinance, you can rent this out, you can Airbnb it. There's so many different exit strategies that are just truly incredible. So I appreciate you for watching the video. If you haven't already, do me a huge favor and just smash the like button for the YouTube algorithm, okay? Again, comment down below letting me know what you'd like to hear in a future video. I appreciate you so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.